You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me. If I go on vacation, my fault.
You come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. Nigga, for you to go Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
Chaos erupted outside a Dallas venue last night as controversial commentator Charleston White was reportedly arrested following a heated confrontation allegedly involving Floyd Mayweather and his entourage. Sources say the altercation was triggered by White's recent verbal attacks on both Big Meech and Mayweather, accusing them of fraud, manipulation, and using street clout to control narratives in hip-hop. Witnesses claim Mayweather unexpectedly pulled up with several luxury SUVs deep, confronting Charleston White face-to-face after being targeted in one of White's viral rants.
Let this be a perfect example on you gotta be very careful on who you bring in and who you put on. That's Little Meech right there. And if you don't know, he's the son of Big Meech. And if you don't know who that is, well, Big Meech was one of the biggest drug dealers in Detroit, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, long story short, he went in jail. He came out of jail and he started linking up with 50 Cent's ops. Now, bear in mind, 50 Cent made BMF and put Little Meech on BMF without any acting skills.
Things escalated quickly, with shouting, shoving, and police arriving within minutes to defuse the scene. According to reports, Charleston White was taken into custody for disorderly conduct and resisting officers during the scuffle. Cell phone footage shows White being restrained while screaming, "Y'all can lock me up, but the truth coming out." Insiders say this wasn't just about trash talk. It was about White digging into old connections between Big Meech, Mayweather, and recent tensions surrounding BMF's fractured alliances. Mayweather's camp has remained silent, but sources close to him claim the boxer had no choice but to respond after repeated personal jabs. With Charleston White behind bars and the incident going viral, this latest outburst could mark a turning point in his crusade against hip-hop's power players.
When you do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. So if you go do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. That's why you hadn't seen no paperwork. It's all hearsay. Somebody saying he told, or somebody saying he used Tammy Cowan's to set up Cuffy. Well, when you do your research and you look at the court documents that's on Big Meech, you see that Tammy Cowans took the stand and said that she did this on her own accord without Big Meech's knowledge.
And possibly ignite legal action from those he's publicly called out. Floyd Mayweather just fired off a clear warning at Charleston White, telling him to back off the Big Meech situation or deal with serious consequences. But Charleston isn't folding under pressure. He's standing firm, refusing to apologize for speaking his truth, no matter who it upsets. Since being released from jail, Charleston's been making rounds in interviews, and in one of those appearances, he gave his take on the messy Big Meech and 50 Cent situation. While Charleston made it clear there's no solid proof that Big Meech ever cooperated with authorities, he also backed 50's decision to distance himself. Charleston explained that in his eyes, 50 had every right to crash out, especially after Big Meech and his son linked up with folks who were clearly not in 50's corner. And one of those people? None other than Floyd Mayweather. Apparently, Floyd didn't take Charleston's commentary lightly. Sources close to the boxer claim he's not just offended.
I'm looking at it from 50 position. I go get your son. And at the time when I meet your son, He's not making the best decisions in life. You know, they say he was strung out on them perks, and he like to pop them perks. 50 take him somewhat, I wouldn't say clean him up, but spend 2 years in acting classes that 50 paid for. It was hard finding somebody to play the role of Big Meech, so we pick your son. 50, according to 50, he's put over $5 million into the pockets of Lil Meech and the family's, you know, financial, over $5 million. He's helped them make. Nigga blew your son up, and we bring you back to life. Prior to the BMF series, Big Meech was buried alive. Wasn't nobody saying his name. Jeezy wasn't really shouting him out no more. He was buried alive. So 50 bring life back to him, put his son in a position, turn his son into a millionaire, and he actually turned out to be a pretty good actor. You come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. For you to go fuck Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
He's heated. He reportedly told people that if he crosses paths with Charleston, it's going to get physical. No debate. So what's really going on here? Is Floyd trying to help Big Meech and his family recover and rebuild? Or is he inserting himself into this for other reasons, like throwing jabs at 50 Cent? Because from the outside looking in, this situation is spiraling fast. The Big Meech drama is exploding, and it's taking big names with it. Now, Charleston White and Floyd Mayweather are caught up in the mess. In a recent interview, Charleston gave a raw breakdown of the ongoing friction between Big Meech, Lil Meech, and 50 Cent. He dropped some eyebrow-raising claims. For one, Charleston said he doesn't believe the snitching allegations about Big Meech because he's never seen official documents proving it. He also dismissed the popular theory that Big Meech used Tammy Cowens to set up Cuffy and others. Charleston urged people to stop jumping to conclusions and start doing real research, because right now, the rumors are flying wild. Charleston White didn't hold back. He fully sided with 50 Cent and called out both Big Meech and his son. According to Charleston, 50 had every right to feel betrayed and lash out. He reminded everyone that 50 was the one who stepped up for Lil Meech when no one else would, not even Rick Ross. Charleston broke it down plain and simple. 50 Cent got Lil Meech cleaned up, paid for his acting school, and handed him a role in a major series that brought in millions. All while Big Meech was locked up. In Charleston's words, 50 played the role of a father figure, and that kind of loyalty shouldn't be forgotten or thrown away. So when Lil Meech and Big Meech later linked up with one of 50's biggest rivals, Rick Ross, Charleston saw it as the ultimate disrespect. He said straight up, they deserved everything 50 dishes out in response. That kind of betrayal? It cuts deep. This whole mess started when Big Meech reportedly turned to Rick Ross for financial help after getting out of prison.
What about you and Rick Ross?
That is desperation at the points that you hear things from him at this point. You know, because if you're looking for someone, it ain't that hard to find me. You know, I'm around. And I'm not used to having an altercation with law enforcement. I'm just not used to saying I'm gonna do something to a correctional officer or to a police officer or anyone who's been under oath that's gonna say with no problem everything that you've said and everything that's happened immediately after, like, you notice.
But here's the twist. Charleston says none of that would have been necessary if Lil Meech hadn't blown through the money 50 put in his hands during their time working together. 50 Cent saw that alliance with Rick Ross as a violation, a straight-up slap in the face. And that's what pushed him to start calling Big Meech out publicly, even going as far as labeling him a snitch. In response, Lil Meech slid into 50's DMs, trying to smooth things over. He explained that his father needed money and didn't mean any harm. Lil Meech reportedly said, "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram. Now you managing Skill Abba when I brought him to you and you didn't even know who he was." This beef clearly runs deeper than business. It's about loyalty, trust, and betrayal. Lil Meech tried to reason with 50 Cent in a direct message saying, "Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you? I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only shown love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own stuff, but I never switched up on you. F. Ross just gave my dad some bread to pay bills." He went on to say, "This internet got me confused, man. You know me in real life." It sounded like Lil Meech was trying to repair the relationship, but 50 wasn't hearing it. Instead, he announced the cancellation of the BMF series.
I took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe. Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal. Get your money. You don't know these don't know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you since for the last 15 years. Everything you touch crumble. Why you think Rose on top? We don't take this shit personal.
Cutting off the exact opportunity he had once created for Lil Meech. Fans had mixed reactions. Some believed Lil Meech was mature for apologizing. Others said he should have stood up and checked 50 Cent for disrespecting Big Meech. Boozy even chimed in with strong words of support for the Meeches, saying they deserved more respect. Still, no one can ignore how major 50's decision was. Cutting off Lil Meech could seriously impact his career and future earnings. After all, 50 was the one who helped him rise. You'd think Big Meech and his son would try to patch things up and ask for a sit-down to keep the show alive, but instead, they made their stance clear. They were done choosing silence. Lil Meech started hanging around more of 50's known enemies, especially Floyd Mayweather. Over the last few weeks, both Meeches have posted photos with Floyd and Rick Ross. One post showed Lil Meech, Floyd, and Ross at Lucky Strike Bowling Alley in Miami with the caption, "Real Power." That caption alone felt like a sharp jab at 50 Cent, almost like they were throwing shade publicly. Another post featured Lil Meech, Big Meech, and Floyd together at a private location. More recently, Lil Meech dropped a video of him and Floyd courtside at a Lakers game, laughing and enjoying themselves. With this ongoing feud, there's no way anyone can believe these moments weren't calculated. It all seems like a clear message sent straight at 50. 50 Cent and Rick Ross have been locked in beef for years. It all started when Ross believed 50 gave him a disrespectful look during a live show. From there, things spiraled into a full-on war.
As he was actually going in to jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather Promotions.
Right.
Then as he actually got in and I took a look, I realized there is no Mayweather Promotions. There's no LLC, there's no seal, it's not incorporated, it's just
a name.
Yeah,
that comes out people's mouths.
Right. See, technically, Floyd is a Golden Boy fighter. See what I'm saying? He fights on every Golden Boy card. They do all the footwork on
like
every
the
show.
negotiations and the imprint, the paperwork.
They built the whole show. So when he says helping with Mayweather Promotions and it's not there, I go, okay, I know what he means. He wants me to
get it together.
Put it together for him. So I do TNT Promotions. I get it all the way together. Sign the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa. It's like I had to negotiate a release. It was $1.2 million. Andre Durrell, IBF champion Billy Dip, WBA champion Celestino Calabero. So we brought them over. I brought him over while Floyd was, still incarcerated. Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you'd already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail. Right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there, Big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, you know, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
And then when
Are we talking over $2 million?
it's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, you know, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face saying, you tell me to do that.
Diss tracks, interviews, and non-stop jabs followed. 50 constantly drags Rick Ross back to his past as a correctional officer, calling him a fake gangster. In a 2015 Tim Westwood interview, 50 even labeled Ross a fraud. In another moment, he called Ross irrelevant and said he doesn't respect his music or career at all. The shots were sharp, and they just kept coming. On the flip side, Rick Ross has made it clear he doesn't like 50 either. He's thrown shade back, calling 50 out for being all talk. Their rivalry runs deep, but fans have gotten used to it over the years. Now, Floyd Mayweather beefing with 50? That's the surprise twist. These two used to be close, like family. Their fallout is probably one of 50's ugliest beefs to date, and that's saying something. Back in the day, they were inseparable. They traveled together, appeared at events side by side, and even graced the cover of XXL magazine, showing off their brotherhood. But everything shifted in 2012. That year, Floyd was convicted of domestic violence and sentenced to serve time behind bars. While he was locked up, something changed in their relationship, and what followed turned into one of the messiest splits in hip-hop and sports circles. What started as loyalty turned to bitterness, and what used to be friendship became non-stop shots online and in interviews. From that point forward, the brotherhood collapsed, and the beef got personal and heated. 50 Cent stepped up to manage Floyd Mayweather's companies, TMT and Mayweather Promotions, after Floyd personally asked for help. But once 50 took a deeper look, things got messy fast. The businesses weren't even properly registered, so 50 had to build everything from the ground up. He reportedly poured over $1 million of his own money into fixing Floyd's business structure. But when Floyd got out of jail, instead of showing gratitude, he turned his back on 50, refusing to match the investment or repay him. Things got worse when Floyd accused 50 of trying to take over his company behind his back. While Floyd launched a smear campaign, 50 and others were actually organizing a Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign to raise funds.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. The bucket of ice, man.
Something similar to what Rick Ross later tried for Big Meech. But the betrayal didn't sit well with 50, who values loyalty above everything. Once 50 responded, the narrative flipped. Suddenly, he was painted as the villain, and Floyd kept fueling the fire, mocking 50's rap career and calling him a failed artist turned boxing groupie. At first, both claimed in interviews that they made peace and were cool again. But the truce didn't last long. Their relationship quickly soured again, and the insults turned deeply personal. Floyd publicly mocked 50's rocky relationship with his son Marquise, while 50 aired out Floyd's alleged betrayal involving a close friend's woman. The back-and-forth jabs proved this wasn't just a business fallout, it was real, personal, and filled with resentment. On the outside, it might seem strange that 50 Cent is going after Lil Meech with so much intensity, especially since Lil Meech wasn't tied to any of the snitching claims surrounding his father. But 50 finally explained his side when Boozy questioned why he was going so hard on the son. 50 responded, "I did more for Meech than anyone else in his life, Boozy. That's why I reacted like that. Every time he got in trouble, I was the first one he called. I bailed him out every time. What really set 50 off was seeing Lil Meech laughing under Big Meech's post, which made him feel betrayed. That's when I realized he's a snake too. He belongs with him, 50 said. In another post, 50 shared more details, saying he personally got Lil Meech into rehab and gave him financial guidance. I think he got uncomfortable with how close me and Meech were. I'd tell him to slow down on spending, and his dad would brag about the money he used to blow. 50 even exposed a disturbing incident from set. Russell Hornsby noticed Meech was high as hell, throwing up during a weapons test. Ian later told me he had whippets in his truck. I had to look it up. It's that gas used in BB guns. After all that 50 did, he felt betrayed seeing Lil Meech hanging out with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, then plastering those images online. According to Charleston White, Big Meech's biggest mistake was sharing the video with Ross and then publicly denying snitching claims. Even if there had been a chance for 50 to move past it all and continue the BMF series, that moment sealed it. Linking up with Mayweather killed the relationship for good. Now it seems Floyd Mayweather is deeply invested, not in helping Meech, but in using the situation to troll 50 Cent. According to reports, Floyd is pulling strings to get Charleston White sent back to jail, allegedly trying to shut him down for good. So the question is, does Floyd really care about Big Meech and his son? Or is this just his way of trying to one-up 50 Cent? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next story we drop.